Hi, the Black Talk Media Project would like to invite you to become a member of the BTR Community subscription-based social media platform. BTR Community is a platform that was set up for the listening audience of Black Talk Radio Network, the #1 independent Black radio network online. For just $24 per year, your subscription gives you access to an interactive space to share information with like-minded people with your privacy guaranteed. Your subscription will go a long way to help us maintain and improve our current media platforms. It will also help provide a budget so that we can begin the task of establishing localized media centers and radio stations across the United States. The best way to show your support and appreciation for what we do here at Black Talk Radio is to subscribe. Help us to help you be informed. Join btrcommunity.com today.
The views and opinions expressed by callers, guests, and hosts do not necessarily reflect those of the Black Talk Radio Network and Black Talk Media Project. Black Talk Radio is new black media for the new millennium.
Namaste, Featherlite. Namaste, Scotty. Namaste, Scotty. Namaste, BlackRose. Peace and greetings to everyone tuning in on this April the 4th of 2018. Welcome, welcome, and many more welcomes.
And many more.
Mm-hmm. And many more.
I wanted to sing so bad. And many more.
What did Fred Sanford used to say? And will I? You remember when he used to have those heart attacks, fake heart attacks?
Yeah.
And will I? He broke out into singing. I can't remember what he was singing.
I can't either, but he was serious.
Was something like that. Yes. Well, we are raising our frequencies, lifting our vibrations, and speaking our truth. And healing our heart. Yes, speak your truth. Speak your truth. That's right. We're speaking our truth. Open up your throat chakra and speak your truth. Set your intention. So today is April the 4th. Very, very, very significant day, and we'll talk more about that. Of course, today is the 50th anniversary of the assassination of the Prince of Peace, the classic proponent of peace, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., 50th anniversary of his assassination, and there were many celebrations in my hometown of Memphis, Tennessee. My father called me and told me he was going downtown. I was like, look at you. But, he claims that when he was a teenager, he actually went downtown on April 3rd to the march that took place in downtown Memphis. I think it was April 3rd or the 2nd. Which one?
I think it was the 3rd, the night before. Yeah.
It was the night before.
The night before it was killed.
Okay. Because I know they had one that was planned, and then it was a snowstorm, and so they had to reschedule it. And it was the invaders, instigated by some people say instigated by the FBI.
Yeah.
Riot. And then, what was that young man's name? I can't remember his first name. I think his last name was Payne. I think his name was Tyrone Payne. Memphis Police Department, somebody from the Memphis Police Department shot him in cold blood right there on the streets of Memphis. So, hey, they were all about assassinations in Memphis. It didn't matter. So, and also today is Adam Clayton Powell Jr.'s assassination day, transition day. April 4th. And, people get all about same day. I'm going to talk about some other birthdays that are birthdays and transition days, rather, that relate or correlate. But Adam Clayton Powell Jr. transitioned also 1972 on April 4th. Yep.
Interesting.
But, yeah, right. Let me just give out this information. You can join in on the call, 704-802-5056 if you'd like to call in. That's 704-802-5056. Press ** to unmute, and you can join in the conversation. You can also follow us on the Twitters at MB Spirit Radio. That's at MB Spirit Radio. You can also follow us on the BTR community page by joining the Mind, Body, and Spirit Radio Show group. So you should join the BTR community. Just go to btrcommunity.com, and you can join for $24 a year. Get your membership. And you can also donate. I finally, I told Scotty today, I finally set up my monthly donation, because I have to do just automatic debits, because otherwise all of that will slip my mind. I just can't do it. I just have to have an automatic debit. So very simple to set it up. Just go on the page, go over to the right side. When you go to Black Talk Media Network, click the little heart, donate, bam. Simple and easy. And so many people are donating to different, like YouTubers, the Patreon accounts. I donate to a few people. So I certainly wanted to donate to BTR since we're on the air and Scotty's providing this platform. So I consider, because I don't go to church and I don't tithe, so my tithes go out to the community. So I look at my donation to Scotty, my donation to my YouTube people that I follow. That's my tithe.
Exactly. That's good. Yeah.
That's my tithe. And see, that's what disappoints me about the Christian church. The Christian church will not share with everyone, because I didn't learn this until I was an adult. The tithes don't just simply apply to you tithing in church. You can tithe in so many other ways. You can tithe with your service.
Right.
So,
yeah.
So you don't have to take 10% of your income and just give it to one church. You can spread it around, and that's what I do. I spread it around to different causes.
Right. Me too.
That's right. That's right.
Give back to the community in whatever way you can, and in whatever way you feel, so long as you give back.
You can go read at a daycare center. Go read to the children for reading time. Go walk the dogs at the Humane Society. Do things like that. You can always give back in so many ways. Go help a little old lady clean her yard or shovel the snow or something. So many ways that we can give back. And so that's how I look at that. So,
if you have a talent, you can teach it to other people with no charge. Like I used to teach dance, no charge.
That's right.
The children.
That's right. Absolutely. So I'll share a quote, Featherlite.
All right.
And since this is the 50th anniversary of Dr. MLK's assassination, I'll share a quote from Dr. King. This is one of my favorites. Nothing in all the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity.
Oh, so true, so true.
Nothing in all the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity.
Mm-hmm. Sincere ignorance. Conscientious stupidity. That'll get you. It'll set you back.
Absolutely. Would you like to share your quote?
Oh, let's see. We all die. The goal isn't to live forever. The goal is to create something that will. That's from Selena Quintanilla Perez, the Latin artist. Yeah.
Gosh, what was that song I used to like? Well, she had two songs that I liked. That slow song. Oh, that was beautiful. Oh, but that little lady was about to blow up.
She was.
She was about to blow all the way up before that lady killed her so-called fan.
Did you know that originally she was not allowed to play in certain clubs in Texas because she was singing that type of music, Tawana music, and that was mostly done by male, and they didn't want her singing that. Yeah, she was bad. She was not allowed until she started winning those awards. And that's when, they opened up and let her sing in the clubs and things. Yeah.
And when I watched her, when I watched her documentary, I think I recall that she actually wasn't fluent in Spanish, and I think she got a little backlash from that, and so she had to, I think, learn a few or four songs in Spanish.
Wow.
There's a lot of Mexicans that don't speak Spanish. Yep. All right. Thanks for sharing that.
I don't
we all
speak Swahili.
You don't speak Swahili. Well,
but I'm of African descent.
That's right. This is true. All right. Well, I like that quote, and I love Selena. I really did like her music. I really did. It was some kind of song. Something like that. And then that nice slow song. Oh, that was a beautiful song. I have to play that song tonight.
Yeah, please play it. I don't remember.
Okay, I sure will. Featherlite, I am so glad. You know I am. We talked about this. I am so glad that we honored Queen Mother, Mother of a Nation, Winnie Mandela last week. Lord have mercy.
Wow.
I felt that she was going to pass because she's in her 80s. She was 81.
Right.
And I watched her documentary on PBS, and I was telling everybody, you need to watch it. And then Netflix picked it up. And so I was watching it again on Netflix just like last week.
Wow.
And I kept telling people, hey, Winnie Mandela's documentary is on Netflix, and it's a good one, too. Watch that. Yes, I was telling everybody I talked to, you need to watch it. And sure enough, she transitioned. Mother of a Nation, Winnie Medikazili Mandela. Yes.
Medikazili.
Yes.
What a powerful woman.
So beautiful, so powerful. And people were saying, Malema, the leader of the EFF, he was saying that she should have been the president of South Africa, the first president, he said, because she would not have sold the people out.
No.
Okay, read between the lines.
No, she would not have.
No.
Not all that fighting she did.
And Winnie was so hurt when Mandela discarded her.
Yeah.
At the request of the South African leadership. She was so hurt. But she still stayed strong, and she still supported him. She was still friends with him, still cared for him.
Was.
On his dying bed, yes. Ain't that strength? Now, that's a real woman.
Yeah.
That's a real woman right there. That's a real woman.
She could have easily been vengeful, hateful, just consumed herself and just told everybody that did you see this? She could have just blown up. I mean, all those years that she fought to keep his name out.
Exactly.
Wow.
And as we spoke of last week, the other 7 people that were also imprisoned along with Mandela, how many people can rattle off those names?
No.
Okay. But we know Nelson Mandela, and that's because of Winnie Mandela keeping his name alive and keeping the struggle and the fight alive. And I love it when she said that she couldn't fear anymore because when she saw the South African government, the police, killing children in the street, she couldn't fear anything else. There was no more fear. What else is there to fear?
Right. If you can do something as vicious as that, what can you do to me?
What else is there to fear?
What can you do to me that would make me cringe? You know?
Yeah. Oh, my Winnie. I'm just. Oh gosh. I pinned on my Twitter page, Team Winnie Mandela, like maybe about a week and a half ago.
Really?
I sure did. I mean, I felt it. But I love her so much anyway, and I just felt it. I mean, she just was weighing so heavy on my mind. The same way when Baba Dick Gregory passed. Remember, because I kept saying, we got to get him on the show. We got to get him on the show. I procrastinated. It's just so hard.
But you did get him one time, though.
I did. And it's just so hard to get in touch with him. You just have to, keep calling Lillian and the assistant. But I wish I had have just really stayed on that and had him on the show again, because he was such, oh my God. When he was on the show, he just shared so much knowledge, as always.
Yes, he did.
And I was so honored because after the show, he called me and he was like, you are brilliant. You're just brilliant. And thank you so much. And, we were talking, and he asked me to send him some information over to Boston, and I did that. And we kind of, stayed in touch. Like, I talked to him on the phone a few times afterwards, but we just didn't get him back on the show as I wish we would have. But anyway, so love Baba Dick Gregory always, love Winnie Mandela always. I'm going to, I tell you, oh, my goodness. Whew. And the people in South Africa, they've been outside her home and, doing their singing and dancing and celebrating. It's just beautiful watching them. They're not like, oh, they're like celebrating her life as we should.
Yes. As they should, yes. I like that.
Celebrating her life, celebrating her legacy. So, yes,
Winnie Mandela. She did not live forever, but her legacy will.
And as I will mention in Dr. King's speech, that's what he talks about, longevity. Longevity, that's all fine, but what are you doing? Just like that, what are you doing in your life? That's what's important. What are you accomplishing? Who are you helping in your life during that dash? And I love that poem, the dash. I think that's the name of it. It's what are you doing in between that dash, your birth time and your transition time? What matters is what you accomplish, what you do, who you touch in that dash. So we mentioned that Dr. King and Adam Clayton Powell, Jr., both transitioned on April 4th. Now, I don't know why I just love these birthdays and transition days so much, but Winnie Mandela transitioned on April 2nd, which is Marvin Gaye's birthday. I love Marvin Gaye. I love Mr. Marvin Gaye.
You're right. Yeah.
when I was driving home today, I was like, let me get in my Marvin Gaye spirit because we're going to talk about him tonight. And so I was listening to him singing the national anthem at the, I think it was 1983 NBA All-Star game with the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
And, honey, I mean, I must have listened to that song. I listened to him sing the national anthem probably like 20 or 30 minutes driving home. I'm just jamming. And it made me remember when I used to go boating with these guys in Memphis, this group of guys in Memphis. And I remember us being out on the Mississippi River, and we were just out there. It was nighttime, and we were just out on the boat, just in the middle of the water, and just playing that national anthem, Marvin Gaye singing the national anthem over and over and over again. But it's just so beautiful because
it is. I found it like years ago, I did just that. I played it over and over. And it's like, oh, I got this song. Okay, hit repeat. Just over and over. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. I like when he break it down and say, oh, how does he go? Let me see. Does that star spangled banner yet wave? And, oh, baby, he just breaks it down, and everybody starts clapping and singing and rocking and swaying. I mean, nobody could sing that national anthem like that. He make me want to go out and get a flag shirt. Listen, I want to go get a flag shirt. Shoot, do like the people do on the 4th of July. Right.
There was one time that I really liked that song. That's all the way he sings it. I have to move.
Oh, I mean, baby, he sang that song like "Let's Get It On." I mean, it just make you want to move and groove and sway. Oh, let me tell the story behind him performing, because I just recently found this out. So, actually, Lionel Richie was supposed to sing the national anthem at that NBA All-Star game. Lionel Richie couldn't make it, so Marvin Gaye was asked to replace Lionel Richie. So the production manager said that Marvin Gaye was like late. I think maybe about 2 or 3 hours late. The players were out on the court warming up. Everybody's there. No Marvin Gaye anywhere. I say no telling what Marvin was doing in the back room, and Marvin Gaye. But so Marvin Gaye finally, right at the very last minute, he comes sashaying in.
Wait, how he is. Didn't they get a substitute?
Thank you. That's right. So the production manager asked this other lady, who was like an alternate, and she worked at the stadium. She was an usher at the stadium. And so he said, listen, we don't know if Marvin's going to make it. We may need you to sing. She was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, that's fine. And so he had her on standby, and then here comes Marvin with all his fanfare and just that charisma and that je ne sais quoi. Get on that beautiful gray suit and those shades. And, baby, he just comes to that microphone, and he just, it's some kind of little slide and twist he does coming up to the microphone.
Like, I'm here, y'all. I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. It's worth the wait.
I'm here, and I'm ready, and I'm about to blow this house up.
Yeah.
And he did, baby. Oh, say, can you please start the song? Early line. Yes, honey. Woo! I would have been in there. Oh, God, oh, Lord, I just would have fainted. Oh, I would have fainted. Oh, my God, I just love Marvin Gaye. So Marvin Gaye transitioned on April the 2nd. No, pardon me. His birthday was April 1st. He transitioned April 2nd, same day as Winnie Mandela.
Okay.
And also today is Maya Angelou's birthday, April 4th. And do you know for years she wouldn't celebrate her birthday because of Martin Luther King's assassination?
Oh.
Because, she worked with him and Malcolm.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Ooh, wow.
Yep. So her birthday is on Martin Luther King and Adam Clayton Powell Jr.'s assassination day, the transition day. And then Prince and Nina Simone both transitioned April 21st.
Wow.
Isn't that something? Both of them. So April is a very interesting month, isn't it? My birthday month.
It is.
Yes. Yeah. And generally in April we see an increase in like police shootings and attacks on black people because April is also Hitler's birthday month. So all the Nazis and white supremacists, they come out with all of their little mess.
Wow.
On their attacks. So we'll see if that happens this year. But I tell you what, we're not even going to put that in the universe. We're just going to say that we're protected, and this will be the April where none of that will affect us. None of that will impact us. Their weapons will not prosper. Okay, their weapons will not form nor prosper. Absolutely. So, Martin Luther King, he was assassinated in Memphis at the Lorraine Motel. At the age of 35, he received the Nobel Peace Prize. And when he was notified of his selection, he announced that he would turn over the prize money of $54,000 to the furtherance of the civil rights movement. So, Featherlite, you were in Memphis at that time, and I've heard people say that when he was assassinated in Memphis, it was like a dark cloud that came over Memphis that day. And some people say, the dark cloud. I can't quite remember now. We used to hear so many stories back then. But I can't remember if the dark cloud formed earlier that day or was it just a dark cloud from all the fires. Do you recall?
No, I don't remember if it was earlier in the day. I just remember the evening, how somber it was. It was very eerie. Now, I know I stayed in the house. I wasn't one of those that was, out. I had to babysit my...
You were still quite young.
Yeah, I had to babysit my sister. And my mom worked at night. So I was not out. I was not out at all. But I was looking out the window. And it was something to see. It was like, oh my God, who would? And what I thought was, he was for peace. I'm trying to get this through my head. He was for peace, but then they killed him. Wow.
Yeah.
That was sort of like an eye opener to say, okay, so if we do this, then we're hurt. If we do this, then so what are we supposed to do?
Right. Right. And it seemed like when he was assassinated, it was like people just froze.
Yeah.
It was like we became stagnant for so long.
Yeah. It actually confused a lot of people because, like I said, I mean, you had Malcolm X on one hand, and then you had the Prince of Peace. How do you murder a Prince of Peace? Why? And so everybody was just frozen and shocked, like, what? So now what? Now what?
Yeah, and then, everybody loved Kennedy, and if Kennedy was assassinated, Medgar Evers, Fred Hampton, all along those same, 3 or 4 years.
Right.
And they were all assassinated. Mm-hmm. Let me share this quote.
People just kind of threw up their hands, like, oh. No. I'm just going to sit down.
I can imagine. Yeah. I think many people, of course we still had our activists in the community, different groups, Republic of New Africa and BLA, different various groups, the Panthers, that continued in the struggle. But, it seems like people were just stagnated for so long, it seems like, until Trayvon Martin. And it's like that woke up like this new generation because before Trayvon Martin, you know how people were, I don't want to hear that black stuff,
right.
No, they I don't know what you're talking about. No, they don't really just kill black people like that and all of that, just nonsense stuff.
Turning a blind eye.
Yeah, turning a blind eye. And it seems like with Trayvon Martin, people were like, oh, wait a minute, y'all just killed a child?
Yeah.
In 2012, y'all still killing us like this? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So, I'll share this quote from Adam Clayton Powell, Jr. Press forward at all times, climbing forward toward that higher ground of the harmonious society that shapes the laws of man to the laws of God. Adam Clayton Powell, Jr.
Say that again, please.
Press forward at all times, climbing. I'll try to say it like him. Press forward at all times, climbing forward toward that higher ground of the harmonious society that shapes the laws of man, the laws of God. Yeah,
very
Adam
good.
Clayton Powell.
Very good.
I love my impression. Oh, thank you.
Very
thank
good.
Yeah, so Adam Clayton Powell, Jr. Have you been keeping up with the Howard students? They've been protesting because Howard University has been mishandling the funds, the finances for students. And I remember when I was graduating from high school and I was considering going to an HBCU, and I thought about Howard. And the only thing that deterred me from attending Howard, and this was back in 1989 when I graduated from high school, I remember hearing that they had rats that were bigger than my feet. And I was like, I've never, ever seen a rat before in my whole entire life. I've seen mice, but I've never seen a rat. So believe it or not, I actually let that deter me from applying to Howard because I was like, I don't want to go there and be around. I can't, rats. I'm afraid of rats. So it's a shame that they are still protesting here in 2018, protesting the housing conditions. I remember like last year or the year before last, they were protesting about the rats and the substandard housing conditions. So I hope that things will change for Howard University. It's a shame that those students are having to live in those types of conditions.
It sure is.
So, anyway, you want to share this story about the Bath School?
Oh, let's see. The Bath School. Which one was that? Okay, let me see here. All right, I have two. Oh, yeah, okay. At least 7 white teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. This is a school. Where is this school? Bath. It's in Somerset. I think it's New Jersey. But anyway, at least 7 white teenagers were said to have chained a fellow pupil to a lamppost and whipped him with sticks, calling him extreme racist names, harking back to the slave trade. The secondary school in Bath, Somerset, which is yet not to name to protect the victim's identity, says it thoroughly investigated what it described as an incident, quote unquote, in January, and that it took action, quote, in line with statutory procedures. 3 of the alleged perpetrators were originally expelled by the head teacher, but were allowed to return when the Board of Governors overturned the head teacher's decision. The victim's parents did not wish to comment, but other parents were fuming about the situation. Now, the victim's parents were not immediately told of the incident. They kind of found out about it through the newspaper, and then they quickly told them because they heard that the newspaper was getting ready to say something about it. Let's see. Now, the boy, this story really disturbs me. You have to excuse me, because I'm having mixed feelings, because number one, this is happening too frequently. It shouldn't happen at all. Whereas teachers are allowing the students to degrade black students in class, calling it teaching them about slavery, practicing slavery, one person describes the boy, he said, he's such a sweetest little thing. He's so sweet and kind and gentle, sweet, kind, gentle, That sounds like, y'all can go ahead and beat me because, this is part of the lesson, and I'm not going to say anything. Ow, that hurts a little bit. The boy obviously was not protesting. He was not resisting. And what also bothers me is the silence of the parents. It's either they're embarrassed or they don't know what to do. They don't want to make a big fuss about it, because the Bath schools, they're sort of, like really uppity schools, and to be able to go there is supposed to be a privilege. And another incident, let's see, because there are two that I would like to talk about. The other one is the teacher. The teacher was demonstrating slavery. She was teaching slavery, and she had 4 black students get on the floor and pretend that they're in the slave ship and show the rest of the class, a white class, it was only 4 black students, what it felt like to be on those ships. And the teacher and the other children were making jokes, and they were laughing, ha 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 ha, look at them, slaves. And the teacher saw absolutely nothing wrong with it. Now, we should not allow our children to be humiliated and degraded, racially degraded, the way it is happening in the schools today.
That's right.
It is. I mean, what in the world is this going to do to our children in the form of their self-esteem, how they feel about themselves? This was a mock slave auction. Okay.
Right.
A mock slave auction. The first one was at the Bath School. Okay. And what are the children? Who's teaching these other children, the white children, that they can do this? Who's teaching them that this is okay? So these are the children that are going to grow up and become adults and think that any person of color is beneath them and that they can do whatever they wish to them. And then plus they're seeing all these killings of our people with nothing more than a hand slap. Oh, you shouldn't have done that. Okay, well, we're going to go through the trial and everything, but everything's going to be. And they're saying that nothing's being done. Nothing is being done to these people who are murdered in the streets unarmed. So they figure, oh, it's okay. It's just a free for all. You know, this is a bad thing for our children to have to witness and go through. And what are we leaving our children? What kind of legacy are we leaving for them when we allow this to happen and we say nothing? We do nothing.
What are we teaching our children?
What are we teaching our children? You know?
Wow. Slave auction.
Slave auction and slave ship.
Yeah. That is disturbing.
These are schools that we pay taxes for, okay? And our children are being subjected to back-to-back humiliation, racial degradation, and needless suffering while we watch. They will mature with all kinds of complexes about their skin color, their hair, their safety, their self-esteem. Okay. And this was in Rochester Hills, Michigan, where they had the slavery in the school with put the children on the floor. Yeah. Dominantly white school.
Yeah. I remember seeing a story similar to that where they had the black child on the floor, and I think the students were supposed to walk on the black child. So this was an example of how cruel slavery was. So you're going to make the little black boy endure that to teach the class? Well, I think I spoke too soon, Featherlite, or not too soon, or too late, rather, because I just got this in my news feed. This just came through my news feed. There was a killing today in Crown Heights. Police shot another black man. In Crown Heights.
Crown Heights.
That's up in New York. I believe that's New York. Yeah, I think that's New York. Crown Heights. So, condolences to his family. This is what they do. It's April. The killings increase. They always increase in April. Well, they increase from April. Well, you know what? But now they just kill anytime. They just kill all the time.
Yeah.
They kill all the time. They always have. But it seems like there's an increase, like in April. Or the crimes seem to just, well, they're all heinous. So it's just disturbing. Okay. Let's move on because we want to heal our hearts. And I've already been affected by all of these snuff films that we have to continue seeing, and we really have to focus on healing ourselves. You know, we have to have Carlinia back on to talk about the sacred spaces.
Oh, yes. Yes, we do.
We have to schedule her to come back on because we need this healing.
We really do.
We need this healing. We need the healing. All right. Well, thanks for sharing your hot topics. Hey, let's do doing the damn thing on a good note. On a good note, yes. Right here in Texas, in 3rd Ward, Houston, 3rd Ward in Houston, Texas, young man by the name of Michael Brown. He's a senior, and He applied to 20 colleges and was accepted to all of them.
Wow.
4 of those colleges being Ivy League colleges, like Stanford, I think Stanford, Yale, Princeton, and Harvard. He was accepted to all of those universities. And not only was he accepted, but he also was awarded a full ride to every college he applied to. And his dream college selection was Stanford, so he will be attending Stanford. And he said that his mother set high expectations for him.
She must have.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. A full ride? An Ivy League?
Right. Yes. So salute to the brother, because you're doing the damn thing, young man.
Definitely doing the damn thing.
Yes. I think he said he's going to have a double major, political science.
Wow.
Political science and another one. Let's see. Because he said he wants to run for office. Yeah. Mhm. Yep. Michael Brown.
Michael Brown. All right.
Let me see. Let me try to pull it up right quick. Okay. 20 elite U.S. colleges. Okay. Let's see. Right in third ward, baby. Who says we can't do it? And see, these people want to talk about our young black men in Chicago. They shooting up everybody. No, talk about this young man, Michael Brown.
Right. Yeah.
Talk about him. What do you have to say about him? Let's see. Let me see. His mom said that he was hardworking and very caring. He was a part of a program called Emerge. Emerge Fellowship.
Okay.
Yes.
She did good. She did good.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's right. Okay, his ultimate goal is to go to law school. So he'll be studying law and also political science.
Oh, great.
So,
we need some lawyers.
Yeah. So remember his name, because I'm sure he will do great things. He'll go on to do more great things in life.
He sure will. Michael Brown.
He stays focused and helps the community. I'm sure he will, because he seems like he has his head on right.
He does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. Yay, Michael Brown. All right. That's a good Michael Brown story. Mm-hmm. All right, so we want to go into some root chakra?
Okie dokie.
Are we doing Love the Body? You want to do Love the Body?
Oh, yeah, let me do the Love Body first.
Okay. Love the Body.
All right. Love the Body. What is earthing? What is earthing? Earthing is sustained contact with the Earth's natural and subtle electrical charge for treating major health issues. Modern lifestyle has increasingly separated humans from contact with the Earth's electrical field and free electrons. We no longer sleep and walk directly on the ground as we did in times past. Our houses have floors made of wood or acrylic that are also insulating. We have insulated shoes. We work elevated above the ground, et cetera, et cetera. Even our carpets are made from synthetic materials that are non-conductive and that can cause buildup of harmful static electrical charges in our bodies. Remember, we are all energy, and this does affect our bodies. So recent research published in the Journal of Inflammation and Integrative Medicine, a clinician's journal, indicated that grounding stabilizes the way in which the body functions in many ways. It drains the body of inflammation, pain, stress, and it generates well-being, quote unquote. Simple as going in the backyard barefoot for 30, 60 minutes once or twice a day is what grounding is about. It includes surfaces like grass, the soil, gravel, stone, and sand. Special grounding mats are also available. Some people may not want to, be on the ground, don't want to take your shoes off or what have you. So they also make grounding mats. And I kind of, looked online and saw a very reasonable spec for about $45. You get the 2 mats so you can ground with someone, and then you have some kind of little wrist thing. And it seems like it'd be well worth it. There's been a lot of research done on this for the past 18 years or so. So it does work. This activity, grounding, restores a primordial electrical connection with the earth that has been lost with our modern lifestyle changes. Grounding revitalizes us akin to charging a weak battery. It's just what it's like. Our bodies operate electrically, and our movements and thoughts are based on electrical signals, as we've been saying. We are bioelectric beings. 18 years of research and grassroots feedback from all around the world clearly and unequivocally show that our bodies operate more effectively when grounding. We put the strawberry daiquiri down. We sleep better, we have less pain, more energy, and even look better. There is significant documented proof that through grounding there is a reduction of chronic inflammation, enhanced blood flow, decreased stress, and improved nerve function. So, head to the park, get out in nature, take your shoes off. Now, remember I said stone, not concrete. So today when I went to the park, most of the time the benches are sitting on concrete, and then there's the grass. And so I had to kind of stick my legs out to make sure that I was actually touching the ground. So if you want more information, you can visit Earthing Institute. That's one word, Earthing Institute. Or just Google Earthing. And also there are books on the subject. And I have a couple myself. So go barefoot and feel better. That is my loved body. I'm done. Namaste. BlackRose, are you there?
Yes, namaste, namaste.
You must have been taking a sip.
I had myself on mute.
Oh, okay.
But you know what? I since relocating here to Galveston, I walk barefoot more often. Mm-hmm. And of course, I take my sandals off when I'm on the beach in the sand. So I love that, and it just feels so good. You just give yourself a natural foot scrub by digging your feet in the sand. It just feels so good. I was out there one day with some ladies, and we were doing it. We were all just grinding our feet in the sand, getting our little earthing going on, and it felt so good.
Mm-hmm.
Felt absolutely great. Absolutely great. Mm-hmm. Let's see. So, grounding.
It's the best energy there is because it's straight from the earth. When you think about it, it's straight from the earth.
Yeah, and there are a lot of cultures where they basically do go barefoot.
Mm-hmm.
So if they grounded and connected to the earth, I bet they are. I bet they are. And especially when you use the earth to build a home, like those cob homes. The cob homes. I bet you're more grounded and healthy just by having a cob home. Also because the cob home is built with the straw and the mud and water. And, hey, build your home. I would love to build a cob home. I need some land so that I can build a cob home. That's my intention. Land out there. Build a cob home. Build it as large as I want.
Yeah.
At first I was into the tiny home, but I need space.
Yeah.
So in order for me to have a tiny home, I would have to have 3 of them. And so that just almost kind of defeats the purpose. I would need to connect all 3 of the tiny homes together So, yeah. So I said, oh, forget that. I'll just build a cob home. I can still do the what is it, the going off the grid and the minimalist living and all that with my cob home.
Right.
Yes. Yes, you can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. All right, then. So I think that you want to just start out introducing the root chakra. I'll follow up to the root chakra before we go into our break.
Okay. Let me give another quote first.
Oh, sure.
This is advice from a tree. Since we're talking about earthing and stuff.
Ah, yes.
All right. So the tree says, stand tall and proud. Go out on a limb. Remember your roots. Drink plenty of water. Be content with your natural beauty. And lastly, enjoy the view. I like that. I like that.
Enjoy the view. I really like that. Enjoy the view.
I just enjoy my view every single day. It is wonderful just walking and looking around. Sometimes I look at a flower and I look at how the flower is made and I look at the color and it's like, so nice to stop and look at the flowers. So enjoy the view.
Enjoy the view.
That is my quote.
Take time and just take in nature. Take time to absorb nature and enjoy nature and appreciate nature.
Yes.
What nature has to offer.
Exactly. Okay, let's we are going to do part 2 of the root chakra. We did part 1 last week, and we're just going to kind of briefly review a little bit for those who didn't hear last week. So your entire body, like everything else, made up of energy. You know that. The energy vibrates constantly, even if you're sitting in the chair. The chair, although it looks still, the energy inside of that chair is moving. It's vibrating. Our energy runs along channels from head to toe, and these channels are called meridians, and they form clusters at specific points in our bodies. And so there are 7 main clusters. There are many more, but there's 7 main clusters, or we can call them centers, of vibrating energy. And each one of these clusters has a different color. And these clusters, we call them chakras because they're spinning. They're spinning like a wheel, and it's like a vortex. Like, and they start at the base of the spine, and they go up to the head, and they follow a specific pattern. So you have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet for all of the chakras, just like the colors of the rainbow. So the reason why we call them chakra is because chakra is the Sanskrit word for wheel. And the energy, how the energy flows through these channels or meridians affects how we feel, how we love, how we think, and our total well-being emotionally, physically, and mentally. So it's very, very important that we know what the chakras are about because then we can understand why we do what we do, why we feel what we feel. And actually you feel your chakras every day, and we will go into the root chakra now.
Okay. All right. Well, I am so glad that we're picking up on the root chakra for tonight because I've been listening to my root chakra music, and I found this mudra, this root chakra mudra. And at first when I looked at it, I was like, oh, my God, how can I form my hands like that? But it's very, very simple, too. Once I just looked at the YouTube video, the picture. I think it may not even been a video. No, I just Googled it. Root chakra mudras. And I just listened to my music, and I formed the mudra with my hands, and I tell you, it really did give me a little more sense of peace and security. I wasn't as flighty as I can be sometimes and scatterbrained. I have so much on my mind. I was able to focus more the next day, over the next couple of days. So it really does help. So let's take a break, and then we'll come back. We're going to come back with a quote, and we will certainly read our letter, and then we'll pick back up on the root chakra. So stay tuned. You are listening to the Mind, Body, and Spirit radio show, and don't forget to log on to Black Talk Radio Media Network and donate. We'll be right back.
Make Black Talk Radio your choice for digital black radio. New black media for the new millennium.
All righty, we're back here at the Mind, Body, and Spirit radio show. Let me share a quote, wise words being quoted. It is only when all, wait a minute, let me get the voice. Okay, this is a quote from Winnie Mandela. It is only when all black groups join hands and speak with one voice that we shall be a bargaining force which will decide its own destiny. And that is a quote from the late, great Queen Mother of a Nation, Winnie Mandela. And this was a quote from 1976. You can also Google her last interview. And you know, she was at church Good Friday last week, looking beautiful, looking fabulous as always. Yeah, but she had been battling an illness for about a month. So, yeah. So that's a quote from Winnie Mandela.
Truer words could never be spoken. Truer words. Join hands.
Okay, let me see. Where's our letter? Okay, here we are. Okay, so this is the letter we've been trying to read, so I hope she's listening. Hashtag save the babies. Okay, this letter reads, my daughter, who is 17 years of age, and I have a great relationship. She has been an honor student for her entire academic career. I haven't had any problems with her up until now, and she is preparing to leave for college. I see her spiraling out of control right before my eyes, and this scares me. One second. And this scares me. One second. I lost my letter here. Pardon me, people. Okay. My daughter has a new group of questionable friends who seem to be a mix of rowdy males and raunchy females who indulge in drugs, disgusting music, and God knows what else. Ugh. I have been hearing about the opioid epidemic, and I've heard you speak about it, and I'm afraid that she may become interested in experimenting with drugs while hanging with this group of marauders. My computer keep jumping. Okay, one second. Okay. As a mother, I want to protect her, and I also understand she is preparing to live away from home, which is why I want to make certain she has her head on straight prior to leaving. My question is, how can I address this issue and talk to her about drug addiction and choosing the proper friends to enhance, not erode her life? Please help me save my child. Hashtag save the babies.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I would say is trust your gut, trust your intuition, listen to your inner voice, your God voice. And I know that sometimes parents, especially parents these days, our parents when we were growing up, prior to the 70s, prior to these 80s babies, when crack was deposited into our communities and families were torn apart, our parents didn't care anything about your privacy and not saying anything to you. They said whatever they wanted to say to you and the next child. So I would say follow your intuition and talk to your daughter. Explain to her what type of friends she should have and what are friends. Friends should enhance your life.
Right.
And think of your friends as your team. Your friends should be your team. This is your team. Your team that lifts you up and it inspires you. And you have similar, maybe similar goals, or you're on the same, similar paths, shall I say?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I've never been friends with, say, like several crackheads. Why am I going to be friends with crackheads? I don't do crack.
Right.
So, why? I mean, what are we going to do? I mean, you're going to steal from me eventually.
Right.
I had one friend that had a crack addiction, and he would go on and off crack, And I remember telling him quite often, because I would know when he was back on his little crack stuff, and I would tell him, listen, I can't be around you, because I know he would steal from me. That's just what crackheads would do. I've seen them before. I remember this guy that I was involved with, his sister was a crackhead. And so, and I witnessed that early in life. It was in the 80s, during the crack epidemic. I would watch her steal from her mom. So, people, they're not themselves when they're on drugs. So, yeah, I would say to her what I had a nursing instructor tell us once. She said, surround yourself with people that are smarter than you. You should never want to be the smartest person in the room. Because then how are you going to learn something from somebody?
Right.
Surround yourself with people that are smarter than you, people that can give you some advice. Well, I'm not going to say you shouldn't want to be the smartest person in the room, but surround yourself around other smart people. Be in a room full of brilliant people or people you can learn something from. Again, people who can enhance your life. And I've mentioned this like what my cousin stated before. She said she didn't have friends that couldn't do anything for her. And, I thought it was so selfish and so inconsiderate, but it makes sense. Why are you being friends with someone and neither one of you can help each other in any kind of way? You need $100. They don't even have $100 to give you. If, say, something happens, your car breaks down, your flat tire, they can't come and pick you up. What do you need a friend for if they're not there to be there for you when you need someone, when you need to talk to somebody?
Right.
They're not there. That's not a friend.
That's not a
They're
friend.
never available. They don't feel like listening to you, or whatever the case may be. So you want to make sure that you're selecting your friends, selecting friends that can help you, that will enhance your life, not friends that are going to drag you down with drugs. And I'll tell this story quickly, and then Featherlite, you can give your piece. I remember when this white girl that was she was one of those white girls that date black guys, and she almost could kind of pass for black, if you didn't really pay attention to her. But I remember her coming to my house, and we were getting ready to go out, and my dad answered the door. I was staying with my dad at the time, and he answered the door, and he just kind of looked at her, and I think I ended up going out with her that night. We went out, and when I came back, my dad was like, "Who was that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's just my friend, blah, blah, blah." because my mom raised me to be friends with everybody. I have friends of all nationalities. I've never been like that. And so I was like, oh, it's just my friend, blah, blah, blah. He was like, it was something that he could see in her.
Mm-hmm.
It was something that he could see in her. And he said, you don't need that friend. That girl is trouble. I can't remember his exact words, but it was something that he saw, and he told me to not go out with her anymore. And, normally as a teenager or a young adult, I can't remember. I think I may have been about 18, 19, something like that, because I think I was coming home from college on the weekend, staying with him. And, normally we don't listen to our parents on everything, but that one time I listened to him, and I discontinued my friendship with her. And don't you know that very next week, that girl was brought up on attempted murder charges because she went. Yes, she went.
I thought you were going to say something else. Whoa.
She was. She called. Look, I'm like the people on the street. She called a case. She called a case. She called a case. Called an attempted murder case, and what happened was she went and shot up in her boyfriend's house.
Wow.
And I remember, like all of us were friends. We all used to hang out. The guy she was involved with, and myself, all of us used to hang out together. And I remember she found out he was cheating on her, or something, having a little affair or whatever. And she was like, I'm going to get him, and all of this stuff. And we were hanging so tight at that time. If I had not listened to my dad, I would have been hanging with her. And she was white and I'm black. Who do you think getting the time? Me?
Ooh,
she would have gotten off.
Yes.
I would have still been in jail probably on some stupid attempted murder charge, and I didn't have nothing to do with that mess.
Wow.
So with that said, you have to pick your friends.
You really do.
Be very careful about people that you bring into your circle. So I would say, if you feel like my father felt, if you feel that these friends are would put your daughter in any kind of harm or danger, sit down and talk to her like right now, right now.
Yes.
So what do you have to say, Featherlite?
Basically,
I was just saying, she was brought up on an attempted murder charge.
My goodness.
All the case.
Ooh, that was close. Talk to your daughter. Have a mother-daughter lunch, like let's have lunch together so that she will not be able to, like, get up and walk out of the room or whatever. Just this is our time. This is our time. And tell her what you have been reading about the opioid scare. Do not be afraid to let your daughter know your concerns. We have gotten to a place now we're afraid to talk to our children. We act like they're the adult. She may be growing up, but you're still the mom. Use your mom rights, okay? Let her know your concerns. You are the mom. Ask for her thoughts. Listen. I wish my mother had listened to me. I wish that I could have just, say, hey, Mom, I got something to talk about, but I couldn't. Our parents need to listen. As parents, we need to listen to our children. You have the right as a mother to say whatever it is on your mind about your fears, your concerns. Think of all the things that have transpired because words were never said. What if your dad had just gave you one of those looks and like, she don't even know what she's doing, and I ain't got nothing to say to her. Let her do what she wanted to do. Have that kind of attitude. He spoke up. And you listened.
And I listened.
Yes, yes. And let her know if she ever wants to talk, no matter what time it is, you are there. You are there. No judgment. Now, I have to give my mom credit for this one time I called her and it was late because kind of like a night owl, and it was about 11 o'clock, I think, and I said, oh, I know. I said, hi, and she said, hey, like that. It was about 11 or, it was a chirpy voice, not like, hey, And I said, you still up? And she said, yeah. I said, well, I started not to call you because I thought it was too late. And so my mom said, you can call me anytime. It doesn't matter. And I kept it in my head because something happened to me, and it was off. I was at my lowest point. Wasn't in the drugs or anything like that. It was just something that was very devastating to me. And I really, really, really needed to talk. And it was very late. It was like about 2 o'clock in the morning. And I was at home, and I picked up the phone, and I remembered what she said. And she answered right away. She answered right away. And I said, Mom? And then she said, Peggy. And I couldn't get the other words out. She said, are you all right? And rest of the story I'll keep to myself. But I was just glad that she was able. That she offered herself. She said, you could call me anytime. And I did. So make sure that you let your daughter know that you are there for her, to listen to her, and do not be afraid to say what is on your mind. Use your mommy rights to say what is concerning you. You have rights. You birthed her. Okay?
Yes.
You have all this that she just said. Yes. Speak up, please.
Yes. Speak up. Speak up. Speak up.
Mine.
Yeah.
And I love what you said. I love what you said. It's applies to her. I'm glad she pinned this because this is important.
It is.
Very important.
Absolutely. Yeah, talk to our children. All right, we better go ahead on and get into some root chakra because I know people are interested in hearing us finishing up our root chakra talk.
Okay.
All right.
So I think you're up.
Okay, so whenever there's a blockage in the chakra system, physical and non-physical signs will manifest. So since the root chakra is where energy is initially raised, any disruption in energy flow through this chakra makes it impossible to achieve balance in the remaining chakras. This is the most important chakra to have unblocked to be able to live your life fully. That's why I said, let me go back to some root chakra healing. And, with the root chakra, let me see, how would I say this? I guess with root chakra healing, no, not with root chakra healing. With root chakra, how would you say it, Featherlite? With working on your root chakra. Root chakra work, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. With root chakra work, there's a healing process. You have to heal your root chakra before you open it and activate it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we heal it, and that's what I'm going through, the healing part. So just as the womb of the mother creates the basic requirement for growth of the embryo, the root chakra forms the starting point for our spiritual development. It is the foundation from which we climb the ladder of the chakras, raising our vibration. So everyone admires the leaves of the flowers of a plant, but hardly anyone takes notice of the roots that lie hidden in the darkness of the earth. But the roots form the vegetation that give the sprout power to penetrate the soil and grow upwards towards the sun. So it's the same principle with regards to the third eye. You balance the root chakra first to fully benefit the flowering of the sixth chakra location. Okay, and the location is at the base of the spine, right? And so the function and objective of the root chakra, it corresponds to the physical body and its connection to the earth, like a foundation.
And again, the color is red. So when you meditate and you're working on healing and balancing and opening and activating your root chakra, wear some red, or as we mentioned last week, you can have red cloth and you can wrap it around you or sit on it and you meditate and use the root chakra mudra. And the sense affiliated with the root chakra is smell. And the rights are to be and to have.
To be and to have. You have the right to be here. You have the right to have, but you need to be here.
Yes.
So let's talk about what a balanced root chakra feels like.
Okay.
When your root chakra is balanced, you feel a sense of accomplishment and peace. When you think about things like money, safety, shelter, you're satisfied with your career, and you have a strong connection with your family and friends. You feel loved and wanted. You feel connected to your human experience here, and you're pleased with your human body. Your health is good. You're physically fit and strong with abundant energy. You feel grounded and centered, safe and secure. So awakening of this chakra is also called a Muladhara, can lead to a heightening of sensory perceptions, especially the senses of smell and hearing. And some people, after your root chakra has been opened and unblocked, can see auras or feel the thoughts and moods of other people. So signs of an imbalance in the root chakra, you have unwarranted fear and anxiety from external sources. You're feeling ungrounded, unsettled, or off. There's a lot of hypervigilance. You're nervous, you're jittery all the time. Some may use sexuality for power and or security to keep someone. You have eating disorders or weight issues. You're not happy with your body. I'm too fat. This is wrong. This is wrong. There's aggression, maybe rage, maybe violence. You participate in careless behavior. You really don't care what you do. And you're unable to manifest material abundance. Poverty is common. Illness, poor health. Since the root chakra is connected physically with your legs and feet, there may be some issues there. Your legs, your knee, or your feet. You have low vitality, low energy levels, and you're really not happy with your work. And there's a lack of focus. So an underactive, and we don't talk too much about this, but some people actually have an underactive root chakra. And so if your survival needs have generally been taken care of, and you don't have to want for anything, you're probably born into a family of extreme wealth, this chakra may not have been active throughout their life. And if so, there will be, because you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry where your money's coming from. The money's just, you've got this little savings thing going on, and parents left you. Here's a home. You get married, and here's a home. Here's money for your wedding, and everything is just there. You don't have to worry about anybody breaking in on you or taking your things. So when it's an underactive root chakra, there'll be frequent daydreaming. Your head is in the clouds. Your space. You're not really grounded. Still,
not grounded.
Yeah.
Totally not grounded. Ugh, goodness gracious. All right. So methods to help balance the root chakra. You can exercise, dance, and movement. As we mentioned earlier, walk barefoot on the earth. Gardening, when you have your hands in the soil, that is very, very relaxing. And it helps to ground you.
Right.
Get out in nature. Take your walk. Watch the birds. I love watching the pelicans on the beach. Oh my God, I love watching the pelicans. And when you come over the bridge, coming into Galveston Island, there's this a part of the Pelican Bay, what they call Pelican Bay, and oh my God, those pelicans! Oh, I just love to see them as they just soar, and I mean they almost fly like right in front of your windshield wiper, your windshield. Love those pelicans. So practice letting go, get rid of old junk and things that are no longer useful. I did that this weekend and cleaned my closet. Have sex. Have safe sex. Have safe, good sex. Yeah, I like that. Have safe, good sex. Yeah. Okay. Practice gratitude. Yeah. Safe, good sex. Practice gratitude. Recognize abundance in your world. I have to stop myself, and I'm doing a lot better. I have to stop myself from saying, I need this. I need to do this. I need. Because when we're always saying, and I had a friend that mentioned that to me, that, again, that's why it's important to have the right friends. I had a friend that brought that to my attention. She said, you always say you need. You need to do this, or you need this or that. And so ever since she told me that, maybe like about a year or so ago, I've been trying to catch myself when I'm about to say I need, because when you always feeling like you're at a deficiency, that you're lacking something, then you're putting that out to the universe, so you will consistently lack, because you're always saying you need. Right. So give and receive healthy touch, such as a massage. Get a pedicure. I always get my pedicure. Wear red. Eat red foods such as cherries, beets, and apples. Meditate on the color red. I have to start back eating my beet smoothies. I miss my beet smoothies. Yeah. I miss my beet smoothies. Those were really helping me. So some affirmations. I am anchored and connected to Mother Earth. These are some affirmations you can say when meditating. I am divine. I am a divine being of light. I am safe, protected, and secure. It is my birthright to receive support in all forms. Excellent. So, well, you know what? We actually need to take a quick break, Featherlite. Okay. So we'll take I think I'm hearing a little static or something's going on. I hear a little static. Okay, so let's take our break, and then we'll be right back, and we'll share our African spirit, and we'll pick right back up on our root chakra. You're tuned in to the Mind, Body, and Spirit Radio, and we'll be right back.
No, I'm not a writer. Okay.
Black Talk Radio, since 2008, providing new black media for the masses.
Back here at the Mind, Body, and Spirit Radio Show, and this is our African Spirit segment. And with today being April 4th, and it's the 50th anniversary of the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King, the classic proponent of peace, the Prince of Peace, we want to celebrate Dr. King. And we're so familiar with Dr. King. He was like one of the few people that we were allowed to write our book reports on in school. So I don't want to go into all of this. He was born this and his daddy this and Ebenezer Baptist Church. I just want to share some excerpts from his mountaintop speech, his last speech that he delivered at Mason Temple. And we used to give tours at Mason Temple in Memphis, Featherlite. Yeah. So King spoke on April 3rd, 1968 at the Mason Temple Church of God in Christ, right there in Memphis, Tennessee, our hometown. And as we know, the following day he was assassinated. The speech primarily concerns the Memphis sanitation strike. He calls for unity, economic actions, boycotts, and nonviolent protests, while challenging the United States to live up to its ideals. At the end of the speech, he discusses the possibility of an untimely death. So Dr. King says, go out and tell your neighbors not to buy Coca-Cola in Memphis. Go by and tell them not to buy Seal Test milk. You remember Seal Test milk? I remember Seal Test ice cream.
Yes, golly, I forgot about Seal Test.
I've forgotten about that too. Yeah, I remember Seal Test ice cream. I remember milk too. Now that I think about it, Seal Test milk. And he goes on to say, tell them not to buy Wonder Bread. You remember Wonder Bread? I remember Wonder Bread. I remember Wonder Bread factory. It was right there, like at 2nd Street downtown, the Wonder Bread factory.
You can smell it.
Yeah, you can smell it. Oh my God! When you came around that corner, you could smell that bread. So he said, tell them not to buy Wonder Bread. Tell them not to buy Heart's Bread. And let's see. He says, as Jesse has said, up to now, only the garbage men have been feeling the pain. Now we must kind of redistribute the pain. Okay. And he also goes on to say that he's not afraid to die. He says, well, I don't know what will happen. We've got some difficult, let me get my King voice. We've got some difficult days ahead, but it really doesn't matter with me now because I've been to the mountaintop, and I don't mind like anybody. I want to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And he's allowed me to go up to the mountaintop. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. My eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord, Dr. King. And when he was giving that, remember when he was walking away from the podium, and he was so tired and weary, because they had dragged that man all around the country, all around the world. He really didn't feel like coming out to speak that night. He was in the hotel trying to get some sleep, trying to rest. Trying to get some rest, okay? And they dragged him out, telling him, hey, you got to come on down here to Mason Temple because, people, they don't want to hear us. They want to hear you speak. And so they dragged Martin out the bed, and he came and delivered one of his most powerful speeches, and it would be his last, actually.
Yes. Isn't that something? He was so tired.
Oh, he was so tired and weary. They had to hold him and escort him back to his seat. He was so tired and so weary. Yeah. So that's Dr. King. And also, let me go up here right quick, and then we'll jump right back into our root chakra quickly. Let me see. One second. I was going to share a little piece on Adam Clayton Powell, too. Adam Clayton Powell, he was born November 29th, 1908. He became the minister after succeeding his father of Abyssinia Baptist Church. He worked as a community activist for Harlem, and he was elected to the House of Representatives in the mid-1940s. He became a champion of civil rights reformer, also making great strides in education and labor. He faced controversy for some of his behavior and commentary. He died in 1972 on April the 4th. And I heard that he went to some restaurant, either in D.C. or in Harlem, and they told him, Negroes can't come in here. And he was like, oh, really? And I believe he left and he came back the next day with like 5 other people. So he was just a bold character. He was just bold.
He was very bold.
Yes. So, all right. So, celebrating the Prince of Peace, Dr. King, and the bold and audacious Adam Clayton Powell Jr.
Thank you. That was great. Thank
you. Yes. All right. So where were we on our...
well, we're going to close with a little discussion about the root chakra and how it affects us. Mm-hmm. Some people are born into this world wealthy, raised to expect abundance in their lives. This is where an underactive root chakra may exist. But most were not so lucky. Raised with concepts of scarcity, we panic over whether to take a pleasant job that pays less, nervous when we take a day off, these days nervous when we hear the news like a few minutes ago, another senseless killing. We learn to make do. We have few luxuries without guilt or worry, and this is an inability to have. A first chakra programmed on a foundation of scarcity rather than abundance. On the other hand, expecting prosperity makes it easier to accumulate and easier to maintain. Expecting prosperity. What you were talking about earlier, what you expect.
Yes. Okay, so one of the elements or factors causing a collective imbalance or closed root chakra is a type of holocaust to a group of people, such as genocide. African people and descendants of Africa certainly fit into that mold. We are under constant ethnic cleansing by several means, including environmental poisoning, nutricide, chemicals in our food, or GMOs, the school-to-prison pipeline project, and more. The root chakra is greatly off balance. And as a collective for the African people, our right to be here is constantly being threatened and challenged. And this is a long-standing trauma embedded deep within. Lord knows that is so true. It just has to fall off balance.
Yes, and it's a constant thing. It's constantly with us. So threats to survival stimulates our adrenal glands for that burst of energy that we need for fight or flight. This is what we need this for, that sudden burst, like, oh, got to get the heck out of here, So these occasions, though, they should be rare, not constant. You should always be in a constant fight or flight mode, like many of us find ourselves in. We must see that our survival needs are met in a healthy and direct way so that our consciousness is not dominated by them. As people of color, controlled and oppressed by the matrix system, we focus an enormous amount of our energy on survival, which throws off the other chakras. We're constantly in the survival mode. And so many of us are in a constant fight or flight mode, and we're fearful. And that's so unhealthy for the body. It leaves little energy for creativity, for love of self and others, for spiritual enlightenment. And it's difficult to be, quote-unquote, woke when you're not grounded. Without grounding, you're unstable. You're off-center. You fly off the handle. You get swept off your feet. You daydream in a fantasy world. We get so caught up in external affairs that we lose sight of ourselves. We lose our ability to contain, to have, to hold. It's our right to have. It's our right to be here. Yes. When we lose our ground, our attention wanders from the present moment, and we may appear to be not all here. In this state, we feel powerless. And like a vicious circle, we may no longer want to be here, and consequently cannot manifest our wants because we don't want to be here. So there's a manifestation problem.
Lord have mercy. Okay, so what?
Really, it's so powerful. It's so important. People
really
concentrate on the third eye, but you got to get that root together.
Get that root chakra together.
Yeah.
So what do you allow yourself? Time for relaxation, accepting love and pleasure. Look closely at what you allow yourself to have. Look at the discrepancies of what you could have and what we allow ourselves. The right to have is also associated with entitlement. Many people of African descent do not feel entitled. We do not accept abundance or feel we will get it. Let me just say something quickly on us not feeling entitled.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was in Philadelphia and I was riding with my friend. And Philadelphia is a pedestrian, bike-friendly type of city. I love Philadelphia. And so they have all these bike lines. And so, me being from Memphis, Tennessee, when I was up there living on the East Coast for a while, it was surprising to me to see the bike riders just being so aggressive with their bike ride. And I was like, man, they're going to get their ass hit if they don't get out the way. I'm like, shoot, you better move. I'm not trying to, not hit you and then have an accident hitting somebody else, hitting a car. I'm going to hit you, okay? So you better be careful. And so riding with my friend, and she lived in D.C., so she was accustomed to seeing the bike riders and all of that stuff. And so she said something, and it really made me think. She said, because it was mostly, white people that were riding their bikes at that time. This was about 8 years ago. And so she said, they feel so entitled. They feel extremely entitled, like they have the right to ride their bike and you're not going to hit them. And I was like, you know what, that's right, they sure do, don't they? And over the years I began to think about how we don't feel entitled. We don't feel like we deserve. We don't feel like we deserve a mansion, even though people to go to church, scripture, and my father's house, there are many mansions. If it wasn't so, he would not say it was so, and all of that stuff. But yet, you still are willing to live in poverty.
Right. And it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Some of us feel we're not entitled to a good relationship, entitled to the best career options. We just take a job, not a career.
We
feel like
in relationships that are detrimental, that are hurtful.
That's right.
We don't feel entitled to have a good, solid relationship.
Because as black people, we've been beat down so much. We've been beat down. I mean, just beaten ferociously, and so our spirit has been beaten, and we've been degraded in such a fashion that we don't feel like we're entitled to happiness or security. We feel like we're supposed to struggle and get it in the hereafter. I want mine right now. I want it right now. I don't want it in the hereafter. I want it now.
Right. I don't want to walk around heaven all day.
No.
I want what I want now while I'm here on this planet.
Give me my robe and my wings and my halo and all of that stuff now that you say is up there in heaven and all of that. Give it to me now, right now. Give me my many mansions right now.
Another example of lack of entitlement, and I know many listening will agree with this. You ever been standing in a line in the store, a long line, and there's only one person checking out, and you're just standing back there switching feet, shifting from side to side. Now, I know you don't do this, BlackRose, because I've seen you. And you're mumbling and grumbling. But a white person, European, melanin recessive person will come in the line and, go like, can we get another cashier? And immediately, cashier will appear. Of course, they're the first one to jump in the line. And because they will not wait. They feel entitled. They feel entitled to health service right now. Right now, I'm here. I'm ready to be served. Get somebody up here. And the others would have been standing in the line for 5 minutes more, mumbling and grumbling.
And you know me, I do it all the time. I'm like, excuse me, can you open up this line over here, please? Thank you. Yeah, I've learned. Yes. Where's the manager? You need to go get him from the back and tell him to come on up here and check me out. I'm ready to go. Right. Look, I'm ready to go. Right.
We must raise our ability to have high enough to fit our own needs. If our unconscious mind says, no, I don't deserve it, our conscious minds are given an extra obstacle to overcome. We have the right to be here and the right to have what we need to live a full and balanced life. What message are we sending out to the universe? Change that message to the affirmative. The universe is always listening, always listening. If you say, I don't ever seem to have enough money, you never will. You never will, because that's what you're sending out. By balancing this root chakra and awakening the Muladhara, we can accomplish the first step on our path towards a full, developed human consciousness and beyond. We must assert ourselves to claim our own place in the world and secure our survival. We must do it now. Now is the time. Now is the time. It's going to be difficult, but we got to do it. We got to do it.
That's right.
Send the message out there. And that, ladies and gentlemen, guys and dolls,
brothers and sisters,
light workers and all, conclude our discussion for the root chakra. Now, we will be keeping in touch with you guys, letting you know what we're doing to balance our root chakra. And please start practicing some of these practices that we've talked about. Start practicing on it. Start working on your root chakra, because we all need it. We all need it.
Indeed. All right. Practice. Heal your root chakra. All right. Okay.
So, what do you have for us? It's a little early for the reading. Do you have a gemstone?
I have a gemstone. Our gemstone, we are still in our brown crystals, and so we are on Tiger's Eye. I love Tiger's Eye. Tiger's Eye is no, wait a minute. Did we do Tiger's Eye last week? No, I don't think we did.
No, we didn't do it. This is
okay.
New.
All right. Okay, so Tiger's Eye. It's a protective stone, shows correct use of power, aids in accomplishing goals, recognizing inner resources, brings clarity of intention, anchors change into physical body, integrates brain hemispheres, balances yin and yang energy, energizes the body, and it will enhance your psychic abilities. And you can wear this on the right arm. Tiger's Eye is a prosperity stone also, so if you want to increase your abundance, then you can place Tiger's Eye like in the left corner of your house. Left corner of a room.
Okay.
Yes, so that's the Tiger's Eye. And let me see, I want to share this piece on mindfulness. Live life in the moment. Mindfulness calls you to establish a connection with the present without judgment or criticism. By practicing this on a regular basis, you can reduce your stress level, feel healthier, and enjoy life more. So practice mindfulness.
Mindfulness. Did you know that when you lose things, you were not practicing mindfulness? Because when you had your hands on whatever it is that you lost in this place, your mind was not with it. Your mind was somewhere else, and that's why you placed it somewhere and you don't know where it is. That kind of hit me. It's like, okay. Because I do that. I will have my hand on something. I'll have something in my hand, and then I'm thinking about something else, and then the next thing I know, then I don't know where I put it because I was not mindful at that moment.
Yes. Very good.
Very good.
Your biceps, what do you say? Your bilaterals, your trilaterals, and your bisexuals. Very good. I love Norbert. I don't care what nobody say. I love that movie. That movie was funny as hell to me. I laugh, and I still laugh at it. I love it. People talking about don't know women look like that. Yes, they do. I have a cousin that look like Rasputia. Yes, they do. I see them all the time walking around looking like Rasputia. Black women were talking about, Eddie Murphy should not have done that. There's no black women look like that. I have a cousin that look like Rasputia and act like her too. Shoot. We call her Debo. We call her Debo. Debo. Who? Debo. One of my favorite movies, Friday. Norbit.
Definitely.
Man, when I want to laugh, I can put on Friday and Norbit. Oh, my God. Okay.
It is scientifically proven that you move my feet. Wait, Pusha, that's not science. That's not science.
No, it's not.
Just this. Shut up.
All right. If you don't know the movie, it's not funny to you. But I don't care. You need to watch it. It's funny to me. Anyway, moving right along.
Moving
forward. Moving forward.
Okay, let me see. I think I have a Did you know? Did you know? Okay. Did you know in the past, this is not a pleasant subject, but this is important. In the past, rape had two definitions. There was simple rape, when the assailant is known by the victim and not taken as serious by the authorities. It's more of a private matter, you knew him. And then there was real rape. Assailant was not known by the victim. So you got simple rape and real rape. The after effects, in my opinion, are the same. And it's and actually worse in a way for the so-called simple rape because the victim is forced to be in constant contact with her assailant, and no one seems to give a damn. In America, the word rapist wasn't referred to until the late 19th century in reference to lynchings. The Oxford English Dictionary notes its first use in reference to a quote-unquote nigger rape. It was much easier to convict black men of crimes than whites because they were tried in slave courts that did not require unanimous jury verdicts. Isn't that interesting? Yes, there was such a thing as a slave court. You know you're going to be guilty. The word itself, slave court, guilty. Sharon Block, the author of Rape and Sexual Power in Early America, stated that white men accused of rape would often get their charges reduced. That's present. A woman named Sylvia Patterson, who was raped by Captain James Dunn in New York City during the early 19th century, was only charged with assault with intent to seduce, which was common when powerful white men were accused of raping working-class women, particularly women of color. During the course of the trial, Sylvia Patterson was called promiscuous, and it was said that she had venereal diseases.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So it was only recent, I'll say about the past couple of decades, maybe less, that the rape laws were changed, whereas the defense could not bring up the victim's past sexual behavior, nor could they defame their character. Because that was the case. If a woman accused a man of raping her, they would bring up, okay, who did you sleep with? Didn't you sleep with this person? How long had you known this person? Oh, aren't you, Miss Ho? So they just recently changed that. Now, when I was kidnapped when I was 15, and they caught the guy, and I had to, do the line-up thing and go to court and all of that. It was horrible. When I was on the witness stand, the attorney for the defense of this guy that abducted me, he was trying to portray us as friends because I was sitting on my porch. I lived on a hill with my mom, and I was sitting on the porch and with the dog, who turned out to be nothing, and he, in other words, he didn't inform me that this was a bad person. He walked up to the porch, toward the porch, walked up the hill, and I got up. I got up. And it was about 8 o'clock. I didn't think anything of it. So, and he wanted to, some directions as to how to get to the street. He was from New York City, and the street was just right, a few blocks away. I could see it, and I pointed. He was down that way. Just keep walking, blah, blah, blah. My little brother walked up with his two friends, and, hey, what you doing talking to my sister, da, 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 da. And he laughed, and my brother went on in the house. As soon as he went in the house, he put the knife around my throat. So this had to come out in court. So he said, so you're just two friends talking. I'm like, no, we were not friends. I didn't know him. So he kept badgering me, and I thought, this is so horrible. I've been afraid, of course, ever since. But that is the type of thing that women would have to go through when they are the victim. They have to pretty much justify their being or defend themselves. In other words, they are the ones. I felt like I was the one who was I had to defend myself. But anyway, that's a bit So let's take a breather.
Okay.
Take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do some belly breathing. Put your hand, ladies, your left hand on your lower abdomen, and your other hand, your right hand on your chest. Just kind of take deep breaths. Let your hand on your chest remain still. And let the air come in through your nose, down your throat. Your throat is relaxed. And the air is to fill your stomach. And your hand on your stomach should rise up as you breathe in. As you breathe out, as you exhale, gently push on your stomach so that you will exhale all of the air, all of the toxins. Mentally count to 4 as you inhale, and mentally count 6 as you exhale. Again, inhale, exhale. And we're going to just kind of stand for me and just kind of shake your body. Just do a little shake, shake, shake. Just shake off all the stress and anxiety and worry. Worry is a down payment of something that may not even happen. So, don't worry. Don't worry. If you can do something about it, do it. If you can't, let it go. Let it go. All of your stress, just shake, 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 shake your feet, your knees, your thighs, your hips, your arms, your hands, and just breathe. We're going to do a closing where you're just going to release. You're going to take your arms, inhale, arms out to the side, up over your head. Your palms are facing each other. You look up. You bring down some good chi slowly, slowly to your crown, up to your throat, your chest, stomach, hips, towards your thighs, toward the earth. Once again, inhale, arms out to the side, up over your head, palms. Exhale. Slowly bring your arms down, bring down the good chi. If your fingers are tingling, then you're feeling energy. If you're not feeling anything in your hands, you're moving too fast. Slowness is the key to feeling your energy. Notice when people are doing Tai Chi, how slowly they move. They're controlling the energy around them. One last time. Inhale, swoop arms up, overhead. Exhale, down, 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 down. Move out your energy. If you're just moving out some water. And our last time, we're going to form the Anjuli Mudra. And your hands up. Exhale. Form the prayer symbol, the Anjuli symbol. Bring down to your chest. Nod your head. Smile. Namaste. And thank you so much for joining us tonight. We have enjoyed being with you.
Yes, we have, and we will be back on next Wednesday. So stay tuned. Thank you so much, Featherlite.
You're welcome, BlackRose.
Namaste to you. Namaste, Scotty. Everyone have a beautiful and prosperous week. Stay strong, stay true, speak your truth.
Speak your truth. And send out good things to the universe, and good things will come back.
That's right. Peace.
Namaste. Namaste.